In question 5 of this exercise, we have to find the least number which must be added to each of the following numbers so as to get a perfect square. So each of these 5 numbers that you see here, each of these is not a perfect square, and we have to find the smallest number we can add to each number so that we get a perfect square. And then we also have to find the square root of the perfect square so obtained in each case. So here's what we will do in each case. We will find those two consecutive perfect squares between which the given number lies. For example, let's take the number 30. Let's take the number 30. The largest perfect square smaller than 30 is 5 square, because 5 square is 25, which is less than 30. And the smallest perfect square larger than 30 is 6 square, because 6 square is 36, which is greater than 30. So 30 lies between the consecutive perfect squares 5 square and 6 square. And this helps you easily find the smallest number you can add to 30 to turn it into a perfect square. Just find the difference between 30 and the perfect square that comes right after 30. And this difference between 30 and 6 square is 6, because 6 square is 36. So if you add to the number 30, if you add 6, you get 36, which is a perfect square. So this is the exact strategy we will apply to each of the given numbers, and we will use the division method for this purpose. So follow me carefully as I show you how to solve each part. In part 1, we have the number 525. So let's apply the division method of finding square roots to this number. For that, we put bars over pairs of digits starting from the right. So we put a bar over 25 and then we put a bar over 5. And now we can apply the division method. So in the first step, we have to find the largest possible digit whose square is less than or equal to this number 5 under the first bar. And that largest possible digit is 2, because 2 square is equal to 4, which is less than 5. But the next digit 3 has a square of 9, which is greater than 5. So the first divisor will be 2, and the first digit of the quotient will also be 2, and 2 into 2 is equal to 4. Now if we subtract, we get 5 minus 4 as 1, and if we bring down these two digits, 2 and 5, we get the dividend 125 as the dividend of the next step. For the divisor of the next step, we take this divisor 2 and double it, and that gives us 4. And now we have to find the largest possible digit that will go here and also go here as the second digit in the quotient, such that the product of this number and this digit here will be less than or equal to 125. And that largest possible digit is 2, because 42 into 2 is 84. And you can check that if you had taken the next larger digit 3, 43 into 3 will become greater than 125. So you have to take the digit 2. Now if you subtract, you get the remainder 41, and now there are no more digits left in the original number, so the division process stops at this point. So we have obtained a quotient of 22 and a remainder of 41. So this means that the largest number whose square is less than 525 is this number, this quotient 22. So the largest number whose square is less than 525 is 22, and hence the smallest number whose square is greater than 525 is 23. In other words, the number 525, this number, lies between the square of 22 and the square of 23. So 525 lies between these two consecutive perfect squares, and hence the smallest number we can add to 525 to get a perfect square is the difference between 23 square and the number 525. So just calculate the difference between these two numbers. So 23 square is equal to 529. So the difference between 23 square and 525 is equal to 4. Okay, so we can add 4 to the number 525. So the number 525, if we add 4, we get the next immediate perfect square, which is 23 square, and the square root of that will be 23. So the answer to the first part is that we can add 4. The smallest number we can add is 4 to get a perfect square. and the square root of that number will be 23. So that completes part 1. Now let's do part 2. The number in part 2 is 1750, and once again we will apply the division method of finding square roots to this number. So we put bars over pairs of digits, we put a bar over 50 and we put a bar over 17, and now we are ready to apply the division method. So in the first step, we have to find the largest possible digit whose square is less than or equal to this number under the first bar, which is 17. And that largest possible digit is 4, because 4 square is equal to 16, which is less than 17. But if you take the next digit 5, then 5 square is equal to 25, which is greater than 17. So we take the first divisor as 4 and also as the first digit of the quotient, and 4 into 4 is equal to 16. Now we subtract. 17 minus 16 is 1, and we bring down these two digits 50, and that gives us the dividend for the next step as 150. To get the divisor for the next step, we take this digit here, we take this divisor here 4 and double it, so it becomes 8. And now we have to find the largest possible digit that we can put here and that we can put as the second digit in the quotient, such that the product of this number here and this digit here is less than or equal to 150, and that digit we can see can only be 1, and 81 into 1, because if you take 2, then 82 into 2 will exceed 150. So we have to take 1. So 81 into 1 is 81, and if we subtract now, we get a remainder of 69. And now because there are no more digits left in the original number, the division process stops at this point. So we have obtained a quotient of 41 and a remainder of 69. So this means that the largest number whose square is less than 1750, the largest such number is 41. Okay, and this means that the smallest number whose square will be greater than 1750 will be 42. In other words, the number 1750 will lie between the consecutive perfect squares 41 square and 42 square. And hence, to find the smallest number you can add to 1750 to get a perfect square, just take the difference of this number and the next immediate perfect square, which is 42 square. So 42 square is equal to 1764, and this means that 42 square minus the given number 1750, this is equal to 14. So if you add 14 to 1750, you get the next perfect square. So let's write this: 1750 plus 14 will be equal to 42 square. So the answer for part 2 is that the smallest number you can add is 14. So we put 14 here, and the square root of the resulting number so obtained will be 42. So 42 is the second part of the answer. So this completes part 2. Now coming to part 3, the number in part 3 is 252. So once again we will apply the division method to this number. For that we put bars over pairs of digits. So we put a bar over 52 and then we put a bar over 2, and now we can apply the division method. In the first step, we have to find the largest possible digit whose square is less than or equal to 2, and that digit is 1, because 1 square is 1, which is less than 2. But if you take the next digit 2, then 2 square is 4, which is greater than 2. So the first divisor will be 1, and the first digit of the quotient will also be 1, and 1 into 1 is equal to 1. Now we subtract. So 2 minus 1 is 1, and then we bring down these digits 5, 2, we bring them down, and that gives us 152 as the second dividend for the second step. Now to get the divisor for the second step, we take this 1, we double it, and that's 2. And now we have to find the largest digit which will go here and also go here as the second digit in the quotient, such that the product of this number here and this digit here is less than or equal to 152. So that digit will be equal to 5, because 25 into 5 is 125, But if you had taken the next larger digit 6, then you can see that 26 into 6 will actually exceed 152. So we have to take 5, and 25 into 5 is 125. And now if we subtract 152 minus 125 is 27. Okay, and now because there are no more digits left in the quotient, in the original number, the division process stops at this point, and we obtain a quotient of 15 and a remainder of 27. This means that the largest number whose square is less than 252 is this number 15, and hence the smallest number whose square will exceed 252 will be 16. So the number 252 will lie between the consecutive perfect squares 15 square and 16 square. Okay, and hence to find the smallest number you can add to 252 to get a perfect square. Just take the difference of 252 and the next immediate perfect square, which is 16 square. So 16 square is equal to 256, and hence 16 square minus 252 will be equal to 4. So if you add 4 to 252, you get the next perfect square, which is 16 square, and the square root of that will of course be 16. So the answer for part 3 is that the smallest number you can add is 4 to get a perfect square, and the square root will be 16. So that completes part 3. Now coming to part 4, the number in part 4 is 1825, and we will once again apply the division method to this number. We will put bars over 2 5 and 1 8 like this, and now we can apply the division method. Okay, so for the first step, we have to find the largest possible digit whose square is less than or equal to this number 18 under the first bar, and that digit is 4, because 4 square is equal to 16, which is less than 18. But if you take the next digit 5, then 5 square is equal to 25, which overshoots or exceeds 18. So let's take 4 as the first divisor and also as the first digit in the quotient, and 4 into 4 is equal to 16. Now 18 minus 16 is 2, and we take now these digits 2 5 and bring them down, and that gives us 225 as the dividend for the second step. And what about the divisor for the second step? For that, we take this digit 4 and we double it, and that gives us 8. And now we have to find the largest possible digit that we can put here to the right of 8 and here as the second digit in the quotient, such that the product of this number and this digit is less than or equal to 225. That digit will be equal to 2, and 82 into 2, you can find this by a little bit of trial and error. If you had taken 3, then 83 into 3 will exceed 225. So you can't take 3, you have to take 2. So 82 into 2 is equal to 164, and now if you subtract, you will get a remainder of 61. And at this point, because there are no more digits left now in the original number, the division process stops at this point. So you get a quotient of 42 and a remainder of 61. So clearly the largest possible number whose square is less than 1825 is this number 42. And hence the next number 43 will be the smallest possible number whose square just exceeds 1825. And this means that the number 1825, it lies between the consecutive perfect squares 42 square and 43 square. So to find the smallest number you can add to 1825 to get a perfect square, just find the difference of this number from the next immediate perfect square, which is 43 square. So 43 square is equal to 1849. You can calculate this. So 43 square minus 1825, this will be equal to 24. So if you add 24 to 1825, you will get the next immediate perfect square, which is 43 square, and the square root of that will of course be equal to 43. So the answer for part 4 is the smallest number you can add is 24, and the square root of the resulting number will be 43. So that completes part 4. Now we come to the last part, which is part 5. In this part, the number is 6412. So once again, let's apply the division method to this number. Let's put bars over pairs of digits 1, 2 and 6, 4 like this. And now let's apply the division method. So in the first step, we have to find the largest possible digit whose square is less than or equal to 64. This number under the first bar. And that digit is of course 8, because 8 square is exactly equal to 64. So we put 8 as the first divisor and as the first digit in the quotient, and 8 into 8 is equal to 64. Now we subtract, so we get 0 here, and then we bring down these two digits 1 and 2, and that gives us the dividend for the next step as 12, 0, 1, 2 or 12. And for the divisor in the second step, we take this divisor in the first step and double it. That gives us 16. And now we have to find the largest digit that will go here to the right of 16 and as the second digit in the quotient, such that the product of this number and this digit here will be less than or equal to 12. And the only possible digit you can see is 0, because if you take the next digit 1, then you will get 161 into 1, which is clearly greater than 12. So you have to take 0, and 160 into 0 will become 0. And now when you subtract, you get a remainder of 0. And now because there you get a remainder of 12, not 0. And because you get a non-zero remainder, it means that this number is not a perfect square, the number 6412. Okay, so you get a quotient of 80 and a remainder of 12. And this basically means that the largest number whose square is less than 6412 is 80. Okay, 80 is the largest number whose square is less than 6412. And this means that 81 is the smallest number whose square is greater than 6412. In other words, 6412, it lies between the consecutive squares 80 square and 81 square. So it lies between these two numbers. And hence, the smallest number you can add to 6412 to get a perfect square is the difference of this number from the next immediate perfect square, which is 81 square. So just calculate the difference between these two numbers. So let's do that. 81 square is equal to 6561, and this means that if you calculate 81 square minus the given number 6412, you will obtain 149. So if to the original number 6412, if you add 149, you will get the next immediate perfect square, which is 81 square. And clearly the square root of that number will be 81. So the answer for part 5 is the smallest number you can add is 149 to get a perfect square, and the square root of that perfect square will be 81. So this completes part 5, and with this we have completed all the parts of question number 5. To learn more about how QMath can help you crack school and board exams, explore QMath Leap, a live online classroom program run by highly experienced and committed teachers.